Hi guys, today I've got this cute Be Kind card to share with you. And this card is part of an anti-bullying collaboration hosted by Kelly's Craft. I'll put her link in the video below, and I'll also put the links to all the other collaborators' videos. And the theme was anti-bullying, as I mentioned, so I went with a Be Kind card. First of all, I used my Cricut machine to cut out a jar shape, and I just went online and found a free SVG file, and it's free for commercial use. And I always try and find files and images that are available for commercial use wherever possible. And I'll put a link to this SVG in the description below along with everything else. With this first jar shape, I used Squeeze Lemonade Distress Oxide ink. And I'll just use a blending brush and I'll just go over the whole thing. And once that's completely covered, I take a honeycomb stencil and tape it down on top of the jar. And then I use this amber Nuvo hybrid ink and I'll go over the whole stencil to get the honeycomb pattern all over the jar. Next, I've got all these other jar shapes. With that jar SGV file, what I did is I put it into some photo editing software. And because it's got all lines and little details, I didn't want any of those in my cut. So I just filled it so it was one block of colour, and then I uploaded it to Cricut Design Space. Then once I got it there, I copied and pasted it so that it was in Cricut Design Space twice. And then I flipped one so that the jars were like on top of each other, and then I welded them together, and then I added a score line so that it would make a card that opened and closed. And you'll see I've also got this sort of border jar with the gap in the centre. And so all I did here is I took another copy of the jar SGV and put it inside the outer part so that it made the border cut, if that makes sense. So next I've cut a piece of acetate out, and I've just cut it so that it fits nicely inside this little jar border. And then I'll just go around and tape it all down. And once it's all taped down, I'll take the double-sided tape off and start to add little foam pads along the border. And it does take a while to do all these because I've got little squares, because they're the only ones really that I've got that will fit in that thin gap. So I do try and take a strip there like that so that I've got a big strip of them in one go rather than having loads of little ones. And that saves time a little bit. And here I'm just using an anti-static tool to take some of the stick away from the edges of the foam pad so that my sequins don't stick to it too much. And then I've made this golden cream sequin mix. And once I've got my sequins in place, I take the backing off the other side of the foam pads. And then I'll position the front of the jar where I want it to be, and then I'll stick it down. Also with these jam jar lids that I'm sticking down now, I used a free sort of gingham paper. And again, I'll add the link to that in the description so that you can download it for free yourself if you want to use it. And I just stick another piece on the back as well. It just hides any mess at the back of the card. And here I've got the tiny gift box add-on from Lawn Fawn, and this is the bee one. And I just die cut all the little bits out, including the wings, which I did with some vellum. And the vellum's got a pattern on that I think works really well for the wings. And so I just stick all the bee bits together using some double-sided tape. I use my glue pen to stick the cheeks on, and then I stick the wings on the back. And then I decide where I'm going to put the bee on the jar. And then I've got this sentiment that says, being kind is sweet like honey. and I made this myself in my editing software. And I used a doodle border frame which was free from Hungry JPEG. Again, I'll put the link in the description. And once I've decided where I want my sentiment and my bee to be, I take them down. And that is it. It was so much fun making this card. I really hope you like it. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.